Have you ever just seen a video online and thought to yourself,
He spent weeks there looking for clues as to his father's whereabouts, and each time at the end of his week shift, he would then set the location on fire. Remnant can't survive high temperatures after all.
yeah, I gotta look into this. How's it going, everybody? My name's NobodyActive, and today I'm doing a little different video. This is gonna be like a theory discussion video on Fnaf. What else? That's like the ultimate game to theorize about. But I saw one part in MATPAT's ultimate timeline for the series, which if you haven't checked it out, a lot of this really relies on that, knowing that theory. So go ahead and check it out. But in today's theory, I'm going to be talking about what is said in the before clip. Does Mike actually burn down any of the Fnaf locations? Because I don't think so. To start, MATPAT states that
Remnant can't survive high temperatures after all.
But to be fair, where is it that we actually first learn about Remnant? Because while it's technically involved in Sister Location, the first time we actually hear about Remnant or how to destroy Remnant is actually in Fnaf 6, Pizzeria Simulator, where you get the insanity ending and then you can see the blueprint or the scoop on the monitor right there as Henry is talking. But nobody, I hear you say. Wouldn't Sister Location's bunker have a bunch of high-tech stuff in it that can probably be used to get the blueprint, which that bunker is probably where the blueprint came from? And to that, I would say, you're right. You are right. But if you go back and re-look through Sister Location, you would find that there's no actual like working terminals or computers anywhere in the facility. The closest you get are the security cameras for the Fnaf 4 bedroom and the little name pad at the very beginning of each of the nights. Now, neither of these have any ports to speak of to where you can extract information from, or anything to really input extra things. I guess there's an input on the pad, but that's not really going to get you to find the MP4. But also, the namepad can't even show high-def images, I don't think, anyways. So, that's just kind of useless. Also, not to mention that as Michael is going through one of the most guided games in the entire franchise, there's nowhere in visible sight where there's actually these blueprints or schematics hung up anywhere. Of course, you could say that was dark. But then again, I ask, when would Mike just have a free chance to explore the facility given how guided Sister Location actually is? He literally wouldn't have any time to do that. So he would never actually find out about Remnant, that heat destroys Remnant, or anything that his father was actively doing aside from what happened to his sister, Elizabeth/baby. He figures that out. He helps Elizabeth to basically escape and build herself. And then he decides, now I'm going to definitely go after my father. So that begins his journey. And everything right there I agree with. But the thing is that because of all this lack of information that Michael literally would not be able to obtain / possess, whatever you want to say, it's just the fact that there would be no real logical reason to burn down these buildings as he's going through it, considering that by the time he gets to Fnaf 1 and 2, he is literally a purple man, which would be the most recognizable face on the block. And besides, he actively gets paychecks or pink slips, so it's either a case that he gets handed it at the job site and told get the out of here, and he just burns the building down with the person who just handed in the pink slip, or is that he burns down the building and they mail in the pink slip, but then they go, oh wait a minute, he was the last person to be here, and they just use the address they would send the pink slip to send police. So it really makes no sense as to why Michael would do it, aside from making sure Afton wouldn't come back. And even though Michael wouldn't know it, Afton literally can't at this time. I'm pretty sure he's still trapped inside that room at this current phase. Like, while Michael Afton is going through 1 and 2, I believe William Afton is still locked in the room, sitting in a pile of blood. But that brings us to FNAF 3. The only one that was actually confirmed to be burned down before FNAF 6. It's the fact that, again, Michael would have no real reason to burn it down. Because Michael, I believe, wouldn't even be able to recognize William Afton until FNAF 6, where most of the suit is actually torn away at this point. Because in FNAF 3, the only areas that are actually visible inside of the suit are the chest and the leg cavities. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be able to tell someone from their large intestine. And so, at that point, the only reason why Michael would even want to burn down the FNAF 3 location is simply just because Springtrap was trying to kill him. And Springtrap was most likely trying to just murder the shit out of Michael because he didn't recognize it was Michael. He saw a literal purple man who has probably a different name tag, considering Michael's been using different aliases every shop. And he's just like, well, gotta kill the security guard. That's Afton for you. And so I personally believe William would have no idea who Michael is, even past into FNAF 6. And Michael would only be able to really recognize that it was William, like, when there's more details to really see in FNAF 6. And so, yeah, like, honestly, with that, I personally believe the FNAF 3 location was just the electricians fucking up. So, excuse my language. But the thing is that it's just like, a lot of people would probably look at what I'm saying now and go, well, what about that line from the newspaper that says, authorities have not ruled out foul play? Well, we also don't know when the news actually put this up relative to the building burning down. We know that it says overnight, but we also know that it doesn't say any past form of time, which would imply to me that it happened more recent than later. That the newspaper article came out more recently towards the fire than later. With the newspaper stuff, essentially it does say that, but I think this is more or less just the fact that the newspaper is just jumping towards the authorities trying to get answers, and the authorities are covering all their bases. Like, we don't know if it was foul play, we don't know if it was technical problem, but those are two running theories, and the newspaper is just throwing that in there to have a juicy bit. So, with everything that Michael's been through, and, you know, everything that's going on in FNAF 3, why would he even burn it down just because Springtrap is chasing him? Like, it's just a random animatronic, and at this point, he would have no idea that fire destroys Remnant. So I honestly think it was just an electrician who messed up this time. And Michael just had to go in the confusion of it all. And so, and it also brings up this other question, that if Michael was literally just going to start lighting these buildings on fire for petty reasons like, don't let the man come back and this robot is attacking me, why wouldn't he do it after the first night, let alone go through 5 of them and continue to do that on every location? Like, wouldn't you think that someone would eventually catch on? Like, oh hey, we have this employee who keeps bouncing around place to place and he keeps burning the building down and leaving after a week. Seems a little bit strange to me. But of course, like, Michael specifically being the one doing the foul play doesn't line up with a lot of the shit just in the game as terms of, like, motive wise. So me personally, I believe he didn't have a hand in burning down any building until FNAF 6 came around, where he helped Henry collect everybody and then set the fire off. But who really knows? I mean, Michael could just be like a #1 fan of arson or something. Like, he just really loves setting things on fire. But to summarize, I personally believe that is just a situation that Michael shows up to a location, looks around for a week. That's how long he figures he can reasonably get away with things, considering the tampering with robots and the odor. And then, you know, kind of just move on to the next place. And if you're wondering why he would even tamper with the robots, probably just to see, like, it's probably just to see if there are more versions of technically Baby that he already found. Like, he's just trying to see, oh, well, I can actually work with these ones. Are these ones like Baby? Do they have something weird going inside? Then that's probably why he's tampering with those animatronics, is to see if it's closer to what happened to Elizabeth. Because like I said, he would have no idea up until Fnaf 6. And even depending on how the game would be played out, even past Fnaf 6, he would have no idea what Remnant actually is. And that's the thing that just makes it all the more confusing to say that he's burning down things, is that he has no real reason other than petty little things that I feel like his character personally wouldn't do, especially since it seems like he's going around trying to fix damages, not fix them and then create 3 more damages. But like, all in all, the real question here is, why am I trying to disprove a tiny little fact that's inconsequential to the entire narrative of FNAF from one man's 4-parter timeline? Is it because I think I'm personally smarter than MATPAT and his entire team? No. Is it the fact that I just want to make a lot of money off of this FNAF fandom? Maybe. No, that ain't it. But is it just the fact that I had something just stirring around up in here in my brain, along with a little Cinderella dream of the fact that MATPAT would watch this and hopefully react and comment to it? Yeah. But until that day comes through, that's just a theory. A game theory. And cut.
Class shows and I hop off a bus. Little bots telling me what's up. Change colors, gotta get my drip on. Little roof chest and then I'll be gone. Know where to go, got angels in my ear. Gotta stay strapped if I step around here. Heard it's crazy every day of the year. That's why I gotta be better than my peers.